get started, reminder to all of you for your streams, and this is going to be a theme as well during this week on Playback. Make sure you go live as many places as you can, and also repurpose your content on as many platforms as you can. The time you spend on Playback should be valuable wherever else you create. We are live on YouTube. We are live on X. And we're ready to go. What's going on, y'all? My name's BTow. I work at Playback, and I am your host for this week on Playback, the live podcast that keeps you up to date with all things Playback and gives you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what we're working on. So let's go ahead and get right into our weekly segments for this week. As you all know, the first weekly segment we get into will be the clip of the week. I also do need to give you all a rundown. And we are also going to be doing a live clipping demo. So bear with me today as I've got a lot of screens open that I'm going to be switching between. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the rundown. So, as you all know, as soon as we get through our weekly segments, we're going to bring my man Legend of Winning Low up, and we're going to do an exclusive interview checking in with him on how things are going with his playback room, and specifically getting some insights from what he's doing with the LOWlights on YouTube, his YouTube channel. As I just mentioned, I will be doing a live clipping demo showing you all how you can cut clips of your playback streams to post all across other socials. Something you should absolutely be doing. And some feedback I got was, well, Brandon, I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that today. And then lastly, we're going to tease a new partner debut tonight. If you guys have checked your email, then you've seen this. And as a matter of fact, do us a favor, make sure you check the spam folder of your email. And if our emails are coming into your spam folder, please move them into your inbox so they go into your inbox moving forward. We really appreciate that. But if you haven't checked your email, then I'm going to be breaking the news for you for the first time. We do have a new partner that will debut tonight. So let's go ahead and get into our weekly segments. The first weekly segment is the clip of the week. And yeah, it's more Lakers time. The clip of the week this week is Dan, the Lakers fan, for his clip, Luka to Nico, expletive, 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 from last night's Mavs at Lakers game. Let's check out the clip. We're going to replay the clip because I did not have the audio up. Let's run it again, folks. Can you all hear now? No? Let me try this one more time, folks. Let me try this one more time. Why aren't we getting audio? We're going to try and run it one more time, folks. And if not, I'll go ahead and post the link to the tweet in chat. And let me know if you guys can hear this, chat. No? I will go ahead and post the link to this in chat here. But do make sure that you tag @WatchPlayback when you post your clips to socials. Apologies, Dan, the Lakers fan, and your community for a little bit of technical difficulties there getting the audio to play. But I will, as I mentioned, go ahead and post the link to that in chat now. Let me get there. All right. There we go. So if you all want to check it out with audio, I went ahead and posted the link to the tweet here in chat. Please do check it out. Congrats to Dan, the Lakers fan, on winning clip of the week. pretty crazy to see Luka stare down Nico like that, but not entirely unexpected, to be honest with you. On to our next segment. It is the tip of the week. And the tip of the week this week is collaborate with other creators and invite special guests on stream. It may seem obvious, and on our end, we will continue to invest in features in the product that help you all do this more easily, collaboration features, raid features, things along those lines. But also, it doesn't just have to be Playback native creators. Absolutely feel free to reach out to folks external to Playback. Show them the platform, let them know what's possible on Playback, and bring them in for your streams. And if you do get a special guest, make sure you reach out to us about getting a main stage spotlight. Again, contact@playback.tv. If you have a special guest for a stream that you want to get the main stage spotlight for, you can stay directly in your room, hosting from your room with your audience like you normally do, and we'll take care of that main stage spotlight view for you from our homepage. So absolutely make sure to reach out to folks and collaborate to get special guests on stream and expose yourself to a new audience is really what we're after here. The last weekly segment here on This Week on Playback is the word of the week. And I told you guys that this was going to be a theme of this Week on Playback, but multi-platform is the word of the week this week. So really we've seen across the entire, content creation space that audiences are getting splintered more and more as more content platforms come out. Some people like to stick with Twitter while others go to Blue Sky, while some prefer Threads, some consume their content on YouTube. Your diehards are on Playback, right? There's this world where as content creators, we've never seen our audiences be more fragmented than they are today. And I'm here to tell you that your Playback room is a cheat code for multi-platforming. So you can simulcast your live playback streams to any RTMP supported platform. As an example, right now, this stream is being simulcast to YouTube and Twitter. So you folks over on YouTube and Twitter, hop on over to Playback if you want to be able to ask a question at the end of this stream. And also we do have the live clipping tool in your Playback rooms for you to be able to cut live clips to post not only a 16:9 horizontal video to platforms like Twitter, but also you can stylize these clips to post as 9:16, vertical video to shorts platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, right? So Playback is the place that you can create and generate all of this original content. And then from your Playback stream, you should be thinking, okay, how many dozens of assets can I create from that one stream to help grow my audience and serve my audience wherever they might consume their content on socials? So again, the word of the week this week is multi-platform. Make sure you use your Playback room to help yourself grow on socials everywhere and to get your content in front of audiences at their preferred platform. And with that, we can get into the main event, the best part of the show. Let's get a stage request from my man, Low. Let's bring my man, Low, up here, and let's talk Low's room on Playback and the LOWlights channel on YouTube. And I'll actually hit you with a request. There he is. Just hit you with that stage invite, Low. JBM Heat says Low always late. I figured like Low's a content genius is what I've come to find out. It's probably planned, You give him a little tease here, let the people sweat a little bit, and then when he finally pops up on stage here, the crowd goes wild. How ready am I for Friday, Mike Weisberg? We'll see. Those Celtics shoot about 55 threes. There's my man. What's going on, Low? Appreciate you hopping on with me.
I'm good. I had to react to the exclusive Paul George news, man.
I missed it. Hey, you want to break it for us right now on This Week on Playback?
Yeah. So breaking news: Paul George is going to end the podcast for the rest of the season.
Okay, so before we get into the interview I had planned, do you think this has like any cascade effects to other current NBA podcasts, roommates, Draymond, folks like that?
As long as they don't play as bad as Paul George, probably not. I don't think they got nothing to do with That's just a Paul George thing. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. That's a Paul George conundrum right there.
Yeah, he's rumor is he's been getting shots to even play during the regular season, and yeah, he's been ass. Let's call it what it is. So probably good for him to focus on getting healthy and hooping a bit better.
Facts.
But hey, man, appreciate you joining me. As I said, really wanted to talk. Like, I saw what you've been doing with this Lowlights channel on YouTube. I think it's genius. I think it is like the future of sort of consuming condensed games and highlights and things like that. You want to tell me a little bit how, like, that idea came to you? Was it something that, based on your playback streams, you decided to start? How did Lowlights start?
Yeah. So for people who are unaware, I have I basically created a whole nother channel, which is kind of crazy. So for all the creators out there, I have a handful of channels. I've been making content for basically a decade at this point, and I decided to basically just use a model that has been working for other people that I know in the streaming community, in the streaming era, where they basically just have their content, they repurpose it, and they upload it on different channels and stuff like that to continue to kind of just expound on their growth. And I think that's probably the best way to kind of get things going in terms of an actual algorithm that works for creators, as long as you kind of produce really solid content.
Where do you find, as far as like getting the most juice for the squeeze, for our creators in here that maybe aren't as large as you are as far as a community goes? They're sort of just getting started. Where would you recommend they kind of start with this content? Would you recommend more of the YouTube longer form VOD like Lowlights, or should they maybe start with a more short form clip platform like a TikTok or something? Do you have any recommendations there?
I'm not the biggest believer in short form, but I do believe that short form is a really great place to start at. Kind of just front loading and putting a lot of content out there on the short form front, because especially with TikTok, the algorithm, again, it kind of just puts your content out there for myriad different people. And so if you want to cast a wide net for people to kind of be aware of, where you stand or where you produce content at, I think like TikTok is a really great place. But in terms of like building a community and continuously growing, I've been pretty firm on the idea that I don't think that there's any other platform as good as YouTube. I think that YouTube is the only platform to go with, in all honesty.
So, how does playback fit into this sort of content strategy you have with your YouTube channels?
Um, if I have to be frank, and I
Be
think
honest, man. This is
yeah,
all honesty here.
I'll let me retweet this too so they can get as many people in here. The truth of the matter is, in terms of trying to maximize. Oh, there goes Samson. Not too honest though. The truth of the matter is, to try to maximize things. Playback is still a very small site in contrast to everywhere else. Just if we're being honest,
Yep.
and you can't just rely on the people that are already here, because these people obviously they know about the content. They're part of your community. They're a big part of your community. So of course you can respect them, but the truth of the matter is more people don't know about the platform than they are who know about it. So you have to leverage other platforms' algorithms to kind of inform them and get them accustomed to what's going on here. And so I see way too many times, and I've seen this on other platforms as well. I see it with Twitter pretty often, where people they get a very tight niche group of people and they build a community, and it's great. Like it's a really really great thing to build a community, but trying to expand is where they struggle, and they don't necessarily take their content and put it on different platforms. And so there tends to be a cap and a ceiling off of what they're able to produce. By far, the best way to expound on that is by repurposing your content and putting on different platforms that has an algorithm that will push it out to several other different people in front of you. And so on YouTube, for example, there is this took me years to kind of cultivate, but there is a way to do so when I surround myself with people that also know what they're doing as well, to where, like you said on the channel, people look at that channel. We uploaded earlier this year, took a step back to kind of refocus on how exactly we're going to execute it accordingly, took it back on, and despite the fact we took like a 4-month break of uploading, or maybe 3-month break of uploading, the channel is picked up pretty quickly, and like content is being pushed out, and each video on a channel that doesn't have 10,000 subs is getting like 30, 40, 50,000 views each upload at this point.
Love to hear it, man. And I like the honesty, because we're honest with ourselves over here too. We're absolutely still in our growth phase, right? Like, we are still very much a startup company looking to disrupt the space. So yeah, from a discovery standpoint, you're not gonna find huge audiences over here right now. And yeah, I think what you called out is right. Like, you can still leverage your live streams on Playback with your tight knit group having fun in your Playback room to then go find an audience right outside of Playback. And then that creates this flywheel effect, right, where you see that audience that you're showing the Playback experience come back into your Playback room over time. As we do grow over here at Playback, and discovery does become more of a thing. Have you thought any ideas as to like what your future goals are for your Playback room, or even like your brand in general, and how Playback fits into that?
Yeah, on Playback, I'm trying to right now as I continue to grow is just to make the content more eventful as much as possible. So for people who've seen me, especially when like KD played last year, I was a bit more eventful. The reason why these Lakers jerseys are up is because kind of just celebrating the Lakers and trolling when Luka had his first game and stuff like that. So just making big events, and this not only kind of gets more people involved and want to watch, but also repurposing the content becomes easier to do as well. So those are all things that I try to do. And again, these are just things that I've seen work for other people on other platforms. And I'm pretty sure people are familiar with, yes, BTow, the Celtics jerseys are going. Don't worry, they're right around the corner. Don't worry about it. But of course, and people may not be aware, but I'm also good friends with like some of the biggest streamers on all the platforms. So I kind of just take a lot of the model that I've seen out of them and kind of just apply it to what we're doing over here on Playback.
Perfect segue into my last question for you, and then we'll let you plug some stuff and get you out of here, man. Appreciate you again.
Oh, it wasn't that much. Oh, I thought it was more than this.
Last thing I wanted to ask, you just mentioned sort of like being plugged into the space with other streamers, things like that. How important do you think networking is as a component to this, sort of with other content creators? I mentioned collaboration earlier. And how would you recommend folks go about sort of like inserting themselves into the, content space, the NBA community?
That's a really great question, because the crazy enough part about it is a lot of people, and I don't want to toot my horn necessarily too much, but a lot of people aren't familiar with a good portion of people that y'all know from me. I guess in some capacity, I've networked with them and kind of built and grown with them over the years and stuff like that. And so like BTow is a perfect example of that, and how the relationship that we've kind of built up. And now he also streams on Playback, works for Playback. And so networking all in all is important, not only in terms of creating content, because I do think that it's easier to create content with other like-minded people who are also just as engaged as you are in terms of trying to create it. It's very difficult to do a stream by yourself and still be entertaining. That's very, very difficult to do. But also just behind the scenes and kind of expanding your network, it makes it easier because, of course, different ideas can be bounced off of other people and continue to kind of build and grow with each other's ideas and helping each other out. So networking is very, 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 very important. I still believe, though, that the biggest component, though, is just making sure that the content is of quality. Like the content has to be of quality. Maybe not Brandon as much, but other people behind the scenes know how much of a stickler I am on a quality standpoint. So yeah, it's the quality is something that is of virtue, because not only from a streaming standpoint, but once more, when you repurpose the content, you'll do it in a way in which you'll be able to push out content that will other people find it entertaining and engaging, and because of the quality, they'll not only continue to stay and watch, but also translate to, coming over to Playback and watching here.
So first and foremost, create quality content, and then connect with other people that create quality content, and look at how you guys can build off of each other and leverage that. Really appreciate the time today, man. Obviously, last but not least, go ahead and plug your stuff, man. Obviously, playback.tv/Lowe's Room is where folks can find you on Playback. But where else can they find you?
Yeah, I thought it was actually more. I thought I was gonna have questions, so that's. I thought it was way more than this. All right, he said code switching low. Wow. So yeah, shout out to Bruce Jr. Senior. The main channel is Legend of Winning. But I don't upload as often there. The channel I upload the most on is the Low Post, where I upload like 2 to 3 videos a day. I mean 2 to 3 videos a week. Then Foot on the Line, where it's more reactionary based. But the channel that is more correlated with playback streams and I guess anybody to get a better understanding of what's going on is the LOWlights. That's where I take the clips from today's streams or whatever stream I have, and I upload it on that channel, condense it down as much as possible, and then push out the content. That is a channel that's definitely more correlated to where we are today. And as if you click the link and they're putting in there, again, as you can clearly see, the channel is fairly new, and even I'm surprised about the type of momentum that it has. But it's definitely easy for people to kind of just get a grasp on what exactly content can look like if done correctly and executed the right way.
And actually, before I let you go, let's address these power chats real quick. Terry with 2 dads, appreciate the $1.99 power chat, says code switching low. I appreciate you for code switching. So when we cut up these clips, we can show them to the corporate types, man. So shouts out to you for
he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, he doesn't know what we're doing here. So shouts out to you, Low, for code switching on that one. And then Scap Attacks got a question for you. Let's see. He says he thinks the reason why you're getting views is because of your name. Start a channel without your audience knowing, you won't get them views.
My audience doesn't know that I started those channels.
Wow. So you just started them incognito.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why I did that. So I think a lot of people, and I've argued this people several different times. I don't tell people when I start new channels.
Interesting.
I don't. You can go through the channel and you can clearly see people like learning about, oh wow, there's another channel that you have. I don't have any community posts. I don't have any shout outs to any of my other channels about the LOWlights channels. It just exists.
It exists as its own.
And again, the reason why I do that is so it can build up its own algorithm. The more you put it out on your own channels, you almost, I'm saying you're working against the algorithm, but you get to build the algorithm on your own. So no, people I've never made a community post, if I'm not mistaken, on either one of the channels. Crazy enough, my creative director wanted me to create a community post. I told him, don't create a community post about it. Let it grow on its own, let it build, and that's how you continue to that's how you continue to do it. Use the algorithm in your favor. And that goes for quite literally any platform. Use the algorithm for your favor. The more you try to I guess game it, the worse off you're going to be, because you're not actively pushing for what you're looking for. So yeah.
Makes perfect sense. And that's the heavy hitting analysis we come to you for, and appreciate you joining us for. I'm going to take that advice myself and start rolling it out. Anything else for these good people before we let you go, Lo?
I guess I thought we were going to have questions, but I guess that's it. I mean, I see there's questions, but I guess that's it.
Let me take a look. We'll try and get to a couple more questions here because we do have a little extra time. Oh, Ari's got a question. Our own CTO. What's the number one feature you want to see on Playback?
I don't know. I feel like the thing I keep telling y'all is just having the quality, the quality, yeah, the camera quality and stuff like that being a little bit better. Oh no, you know what? We did talk about this. The homepage. I think the homepage needs a little bit of a refresher, letting people know like, hey, if I want to watch this specific game, I can go here or there and have it kind of outline like that. I think that right there is going to work out.
So 1080p streaming across the board, and what we call game first discovery, which actually our designer Leon has he's got some awesome stuff put together on that already. So you can basically say, I want to watch this game. What communities are watching that game? Hey man, really appreciate you. And the best part about keeping this short and sweet is I'm gonna have to bring you back, man. I'm gonna have to bring you back sometime if you're down for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. If this is gonna be this quick, then absolutely, yeah. Without
Let's do it. Hey, appreciate you, Lo. We'll catch you later, man.
All right, man.
That was Low, legend of winning, talking about his new YouTube channel, LOWlights. Go follow him on Playback, playback.tv/Low's Room, and drop W's in chat for my boy. W's in chat for my guy. Okay, up next, we are going to do a live demo of clipping. So this is going to be my first time trying to screen share my phone here in Playback. I tested it earlier. It worked. So it's going to be my first time live doing it. Let's see if we can get my phone up here. Let me know if you can see my phone, chat. And if you have a question how I'm doing this, I'm just using a screen mirroring app and then screen sharing the window to my Playback room. Love it. You all can see this. So cutting clips to post to other socials. This is my process. You guys can obviously tweak the process however you would like. But this is going to give you a general idea for how this works. So right now, we have not yet added access to your clips library from the app. We're working on it, and we'll let you know as soon as we have added that from the app. But for now, you will have to do it from web. You can either do it from your PC, or I prefer to do it from my phone. Totally up to you. Really depends on how you like to edit your videos. I use an app called CapCut, and I prefer using the mobile version. So I typically do download my clips via the app, or I'm sorry, via the phone, mobile web. So from mobile web here, I'll go ahead and access my clips library. And the first piece of advice I have for you all is whenever you cut a clip on Playback, after the clip's created, you get that little green check mark that tells you your clip's been created. If you click that clip button again, it will immediately let you name that clip. Name the clip. Mike Weisberg just said it. Yes, name the clip. Otherwise, you're going to have clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, clip 20 in there, and you're going to have no idea what's going on. This is going to make your process a lot faster after your stream's over if you can see exactly what each clip is. So I woke up in a trolling kind of mood. So today we're going to clip up this Paolo Banchero gaff, as a matter of fact. So you'll see the clip here in your room. 29-point Cavs lead. And all you need to do to download it is go ahead and hit download. So we're going to go ahead and download the clip. Once it's been downloaded, we hit this little arrow, downloads. There's our clip. And we can go ahead and save the video to our phone. Awesome. So now that we've saved the video to our phone, we can open up whatever video editing software we prefer to use. I use CapCut. Again, they have a really nice sort of mobile interface for editing. So that's what I like to use. Ari shouts out, we need some AI generated clip titles. Love that. I did notice that Playback does a pretty good job of picking a cover sort of photo for the clip. So I was wondering if we had any AI component to that I was going to ask about. But more to come, definitely, on making clips a bit easier. So you'll want to go ahead and start a new project here in CapCut. This latest video is that clip we just downloaded. We'll go ahead and add that. Now, the first thing I do is I prepare this 16:9 video to post to platforms like Twitter, anywhere that's really supported for this 16:9 format. And then after this, we'll do the 9:16 vertical for our TikToks, our Instagram Reels, our YouTube Shorts, right? So for Twitter, very simple. For 16:9 video, all you need to do is trim the video to select the portion you want. So you can really just play the video, or even I like to scroll through it to see when the stage reactions kind of get crazy. That's usually a good indication of when the moment happens. So we had a bit of a moment there. That was actually just Evan Mobley dunking. I'm looking for the Paolo Banchero portion. Here's Paolo. And that's when he chucks it off the side of the backboard. So let's listen to a little audio. No, I do not want to check this out, CapCut. And it looks like right at about this 39-second mark is a good place to go ahead and start the clip. So I'll go ahead and select that mark, split the clip, and then I can just delete this previous portion. Now I want to see when I want to end the clip. So let's listen to a little more audio here. And that looks like a good place to... maybe a little bit further. This looks like a good place to end the video. So we'll split again and we'll go ahead and delete this portion. CapCut will end this like CapCut ID video. You will want to make sure that you go ahead and delete that. And that's it for your video to Twitter. So you can go ahead, change your resolution to 1080p to get the best resolution possible. Export it to your phone. It will be saved as a video in your photos, and you can go ahead and upload to Twitter. Now, as far as editing your 9x16 videos, we'll go ahead and create a new project. We'll bring that same clip here into CapCut. Now, when we're editing our 9x16 video, we're going to have a little bit of stylization we're going to have to do. So the first thing you're going to want to decide is how many stage members do you want to be a part of the clip? And we're going to make an overlay for each one of those stage members. So we have 3 stage members here. I'm just going to go ahead and include all of them in the clip. So I'll go ahead and add 3 overlays. And I'm going to overlay that same video, right? So I've added my 3 overlays here. Now I go ahead and find the start point, which we just edited and clipped that Twitter video. So we know that it's right at about that 38-second mark. And we'll go ahead and split out all of these. As a matter of fact, also, we could do chat and a scoreboard. Let's go ahead and show you guys chat and a scoreboard as well. So you want an overlay for each one of your stage participants. You also want to go ahead and create an overlay, if you would like, for the score bug, as well as any chat messages you're getting. So I'm going to add 2 more overlays. And again, I'm just making sure all of these are starting at the very beginning of the video. So just dragging them back. And now we want to go ahead and trim our clip. Again, we know it's about the 38-second mark here. So we can go ahead and split all of our overlays. And we can now delete the beginning portion of the video. Now my overlays have actually moved over here. So we'll want to go ahead and sync them right back up. And you guys don't have to do, this is, maybe my 100th or so clip that I've cut. So I've gone to a bit more of a complicated process. When you start, I recommend, don't be afraid to just get started with anything that looks decent enough to post. It doesn't have to be great to start, but it does have to start to be great. So just start somewhere where, you have the time to go ahead and produce these things. So we have one more overlay here to time up. Okay, we'll just make sure those are all starting at the same time. And now we'll go ahead to the end of our clip, which we'll go ahead and end once that last chat message comes out. So again, we'll split all of these and delete. Okay, so now we have all of our overlays. It's all synced up. Now we can go ahead and start transforming our videos. So we'll go here and select our first video. We'll transform it. This is going to be the game itself. So we want to go ahead and crop it above the score bug here. And we're only cropping the game footage here. So that's our game footage. Our first overlay that we're going to crop is going to be our first stage participant. So I usually put myself in the middle. So I actually make myself the first overlay. That way I'm overlaid over top of my fellow stage participants. And I prefer to leave this active speaker sort of white outline out of the stage video. If you want to keep it in, absolutely, your decision. Again, it's totally up to you how you want to do these things. We'll go to our second overlay, grab our second stage participant. And again, since I like to leave the white sort of active speaker out, I like to fast forward to a part of the video where I can see that white border to make sure I'm leaving it out. Okay, that looks good to me. And now for our third stage participant, we'll again fast forward to get the white outline, and we'll go ahead and crop. Awesome. So I've got all of my stage participants cropped. We have two more overlays here to crop. First one is going to be the score bug. So we just want this score bug. And then after I finish cropping the score bug, the last one here is going to be for any chat messages. So you're going to want to go ahead and scroll through the video to see if you have any chat messages. Here we go. We see we have a chat message. So we can go ahead and crop right around that chat message. Awesome. And bear with me. Give me 1 second. Just gonna, nose is running a bit. Apologies, y'all. Okay. So now we're ready to go ahead and change our aspect ratio of the video. So here on the bottom, you can see aspect ratios here. We want this to be a 9:16 video to post to platforms like TikTok. And to see all of our overlays again, we'll just click the overlay button. And now we can start putting together our clip. So first, I like to do the overlays. So again, I put myself in the center. So I like to center myself. Then I will grab my co-hosts. And this is a bit of an art right now. Again, we will make this easier for you to do with some product features on the playback side. But you basically want to do your best to make all of your stage guests the same size and align it up. So that looks good enough to me. Next up, we want to take the actual game broadcast here, and we want that game broadcast to take up the rest of this screen. And we're going to try to fit it as perfectly as we can. We are going to leave the chat alone right now. We'll leave that there because we're going to need to animate that in and out. The score bug, I like to put at the bottom. And one note for 9:16 platforms, your margins will get cut off a little bit when you actually post to them. So leave yourself a little bit of room on the margins. So I'm leaving a little space at the bottom. You can also leave yourself a little bit of space on the left and right on the sides as well. So that looks good to me. Now, chat is going to be the last thing that we're going to go ahead and handle here. So we want to wait and see when we get that chat message. Here is where we have that first chat message. We will go ahead and split the video there, and we will delete the chat overlay prior to that, right? So we don't want that sort of like ugly chat overlay living there in the early going. It also looks like one of my overlays is not all the way at the start. There we go. It's that one. Okay. So right now you can see so far, this is what our clip looks like. We've got the score bug. We've got chat in there. Now we can go ahead and place chat where we want it to be. I like to put my chat messages just above the score bug. Perfect. Now to finish up our chat overlay, we'll see when chat goes away. Looks like we got a consistent stream of messages, so we don't have to do anything else with this. But if there were moments where chat goes away, you would basically want to cut those out of the clip as well. So lastly, before we go ahead and add some text to this, what we'll want to do is we'll want to make sure that we can follow the game action and track the ball. So this is going to be the most important part here. First and foremost, go to the beginning of your video and find where you want to frame the beginning of the video. So it looks like it is Paulo Banchero with the ball at the top of the key. So I'm going to frame him right in the center. Once you've framed the beginning of your video, you'll want to click these diamonds. If you see the diamond with the little plus button just below the video there on the right side, that's called a keyframe. So that's basically going to lock this the screen in on this portion of the clip. So now as we scroll across the clip, we can simply move this video to make sure our action is staying as centered as possible. So we'll just continue to move along and follow Paulo as he drives. Hits a step back, so we'll have to keep following him. And then we'll go ahead and track the ball going off the side of the backboard. Let's run the rest of the clip. During a cut, this is another opportunity to go ahead and center our keyframe if we want to track Paulo. And that looks good to me. So finally, we can go ahead and add our finishing touches. So first of all, some text for a good cover photo. So we're going to go ahead and add text. You can, of course, there are templates you can use. You can find your own text style that you like. The font that I prefer to use is called Trend. And Mike Weisberg did call out that he recommends Premiere, or CapCut Pro. I am using CapCut Pro, and I do recommend the Pro version. It gives you additional text, templates, lots of additional features that are very useful. Why do I cut the room name out of the frame, Mike? You will see that in a second. I prefer to add an end card. So I use Trend as the font. As the style, I use a background style. I use the block background style. And I use a color that I think is similar to wine. I'm a Cavs fan. It's a Cavs channel. So wine and gold being our colors. That's what I like to use. And then I do add an effect. I add this reddish art effect. And this is what my text ends up looking like. So we can go ahead and title this. What was Paulo doing? And then we'll go ahead and resize it. And a reminder, on your shorts platforms, your margins are going to be cut off. So you do want to leave just a little bit of space on your left and right margins here. I like to split the game video and the stage video with this text. Looks good to me. And now we can decide how long we want this text to run. Maybe we want it to run up until it cuts away to Paulo. So maybe we want it to run up until there. We can go ahead and animate it out if we'd like. So in outro animation, I like this dissipate animation, another premium animation. Okay, so we've got our starting text. Last thing to do, Mike Weisberg, this was your question. Why did I cut out the room name? Last thing to do is to add an end card, which I do recommend. So we're going to add one more thing here. We're going to go into my photos. I'm going to scroll down to where my end card is. It's been a while. Here's my end card. Whoops. This one. So we just use a 1x1 sort of graphic for the land with our playback.tv/the land logo right beneath that. I like to fade to black as my transition here. We'll fade to black for half a second. And then we'll just add a little CTA here to make sure folks like and follow our channels. So back in text, you can actually head to text templates that CapCut has for you. I have a bookmark text template here for like, share, subscribe that I like to use. We'll just resize that one. We'll go ahead and center it. There we go. Make sure that it's matched up with our end card. And now your final checks. First check is an audio check, especially whenever you're using overlays. You want to make sure you remembered to mute your overlays. Otherwise, if you have 5 overlays plus the original video, it's going to be like a 6x sort of like amplification of your audio. So do make sure that you mute all of your overlays. Also with your overlays, you want to make sure that everything is synced up. So everything is dragged all the way to the beginning. And then at the end of the video, the same's true. Is everything dragged all the way to the end? Everything synced up? It looks like this one was not synced up, but now it looks like we're all synced up. The last thing I like to do, and this is not necessary at all, but it looks a little cleaner, so I do it, is we can also animate our overlays to fade out as well. So if we go to out, we can select fade out. So everything fades out together. Almost done. Okay. And that is a completed clip. So let's see what the clip looks like. On the floor. Like, I thought he might actually be hurt.
For the Cleveland Cavaliers, 101-74 with 9 minutes to go.
Whoa, good D.
What the hell are you doing, Paolo Banchero?
That was all lovely there.
What the hell are you doing? That was most, like, forcing him to throw a... So that is what the clip looks like. Apologies for the audio there. And one other thing that I didn't do yet that I do like to do is I do actually animate the chat in and out. And I like the slide up version right here. So slide up works for me. So we'll go ahead and do it like that. So now that you're ready, you can go ahead and hit export. That will save the video directly to your photos on your phone. And also the beauty of CapCut and using CapCut on mobile is I can now share this directly to my TikTok. Which brings us to our next point, actually posting the clip. So a couple of things that I've seen work well. First and foremost, make sure you set a good cover photo, like where maybe there's a reaction going on. Looks like, you know, we're reacting a bit here. So we'll set that as our cover photo. Set a compelling title. And now for your hashtags. When posting your videos to Twitter, do not use any hashtags. It will hurt your post. Do not use hashtags on Twitter. On these short form platforms, a few hashtags that I've seen work well. First of all, team-based hashtags if you're watching a specific team or player. So for the Cavs, it's Cavs, Cleveland Cavaliers, Cavs Nation. You know, let them know is sort of our team hashtag on Twitter. NBA for the general tag. And then a couple other general tags I really like that are really good, I think. NBA highlights and NBA edits I've seen perform really well. And if you have a video that you think can get a larger sort of viral type of reaction, you can also use this hashtag reaction. I've seen work well as well. I do like to copy this portion because I just paste that as my commentary for Instagram, right? So when I post this as an Instagram reel, I just use this exact same title and hashtag system. And then we'll just go ahead and mention the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we'll also mention the Orlando Magic in this one, since it is a Paolo Banchero clip after all. If the Orlando Magic have a TikTok. Wow, they don't. Shame on you, Orlando Magic. So we'll just go ahead and tag the Cavs. Last thing, I'm physically located in Portland, Oregon, but I'm hosting a Cleveland Cavaliers community. TikTok doesn't know that. So set a location. Sometimes I set it as like the actual arena, Rocket Arena now, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse previously. Typically, I'll just set the location as Cleveland to get Cleveland fans to be able to see it. And then we will go ahead and post. And I can take that same post it to Instagram Reels, post it to YouTube Shorts. Really straightforward stuff. Really straightforward stuff. So that is how you go ahead and cut up clips of your playback streams. We can definitely hop into some questions, which I'm sure you guys have. I haven't been able to look at chat here, but I'll get right back into chat. Okay. All right, so let's see. Do we have any questions about that clipping here in chat? Using a ton of Twitter hashtag is something folks did 10 years ago. Yeah, Bryant, good. Yeah, do not hashtag on Twitter anymore. Mike Weisberg makes a great point. Try not to post any links in your tweets as well. That will also get them flagged for a little less interactivity, little fewer views. So yeah, try not to drop links. Try not to tag accounts. Try not to use hashtags. Really try to be as bare bones as possible when posting to Twitter. And we do have an AMA at the end of the session. Looks like there's a slide I didn't show as it pertains to multi-platforming, but this sort of just covers my point, right? That there are so many different places to post content for users to consume content, and Playback's the common thread to enable you to be able to push your content to wherever your audience wants to view it, right? You can meet them there. 30 seconds is a good length. Bryant, great question and something I meant to call out. Keep it as short as possible. So these algorithms, especially for the shorts, they really do rely on like how much of the video is viewed. So getting your videos viewed to completion is huge. Try to keep the clips as short as you possibly can. And great question. The last segment of the rundown before we hop into the AMA, I said we have a new playback partner to tease. And that's Club 520, Jeff Teague and his boys. Going live tonight on the Playback main stage with the main stage spotlight for Celtics and Pistons. And they'll also be bouncing around the League Pass slate. So we got a 9-game League Pass slate tonight. They're going to be bouncing around, finding the best action. Again, we did send out an email campaign earlier today. If you all could please do us a huge favor and go ahead and check your spam folders if you didn't receive that email. If you did get it in your spam folder, move it into your inbox for us out of your spam folder. We're really trying to get a better click-through rate on our email campaign. So really appreciate your help. Kaiser says NBA players on Playback. Shimoma, yeah, we sent an email out on the Club 520 podcast debut tonight, this morning. If you could please check your spam folder, if you didn't get that email in your inbox, that would be great. And if it is in your spam folder, move it into your inbox for us. That really helps us make sure that emails don't go into folks' spam folders. So really appreciate that. And with that, we have 6 minutes left here on This Week on Playback. Time to ask me anything. Again, just keep it respectful, but you can ask me anything you would like. Hit me with a stage request if you have a question. And apologies as I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. We have a stage request. It's DJ Activist. Your stage request has been accepted. What's going on, DJ Activist? Welcome to This Week on Playback. What's your question?
BTow, what's going on, man? I appreciate you hosting this Playback. Hope you feeling better. Hope you feel better. I heard you say you were coming down with a little cold. Hope
little sniffles, we'll get through it.
Yeah, it's the weather, man. Hope all is well. Appreciate this, but I had a question in regards to just expanding upon the choices of sports that we are able to see. Like, I was wondering if you guys were in consideration for potentially adding maybe like the G League games and then up and coming WNBA games as well. Also, baseball. I know that it's mainly, the sports that we have, but what are you guys doing in regards to expanding upon it in those, other sporting categories? Thank you.
No, thank you, DJ Activist, and great questions. Really about sort of what other broadcast rights are we working on for you all over here at Playback. On the baseball side of things, I would say be ready to stream some MLB action into your Playback rooms for this MLB season. Be ready for that, for some MLB TV action on Playback. No other updates as far as leagues are concerned outside of the MLB. We're having conversations, of course, and would love to support things like the WNBA. I do believe for the G League, we do have support. I might need to ask for some help here in chat from like Kaiser or Ari, but I think we support the G League. Shimoma says, might have to make a new room for MLB. Absolutely, get to it. Leon Gamer, yes. And shame on me, I didn't send an email. We unfortunately cannot support Euro Cup through EuroLeague TV. It's a different streaming setup. If anything changes, Leon Gamer, we will absolutely let you know, but unfortunately, no support there. Continue to hit me with your stage requests to ask questions. If not, I will go into chat to answer more questions. We have another stage request. It is from Nacho DC. Nacho DC, your stage request has been accepted. What's
Hello.
going on, Nacho? Welcome to This Week on Playback. What's your question?
I'm sorry, I just came into the stream, so I don't know if you already mentioned the topic, but I wanted to ask you about gifting subs. Have you already talked about that? And different tiers of subscriptions. And sorry for my English again.
Your English is great, Nacho. You're selling yourself short. Appreciate the question. The question is, have we released any gifting of subs yet? We have not, but best believe we will. That's definitely something that we're looking at and working on. As Kaisa just dropped down there, a little present gifting. We don't have an ETA on that. We honestly haven't kicked off sort of that addition to room subs yet. So no ETA yet, but we'll be sure to give you an ETA as soon as we have one. And Avi, thank you. Just dropped our candy link. Again, we love your product feedback. Gifted subs was some feedback we received from our community. Please do go ahead and drop your votes there. If you want to see us prioritize it to make it a reality sooner, drop your votes there on that candy link that Avi dropped. While I'm waiting for any more stage requests for questions, I will hop into chat. Was there a new feature that condensed reply threads in chat? No, I do not. Oh, I see Ari already replied to that one. But yeah, I agree with Ari. I do not believe that we released anything like that. Bryant says there would be a reply thread that would disappear in chat if it goes beyond like 2. And you have to click on the original comment just to reply to the thread. Okay. So it sounds like, as a matter of fact, Bryant, if you can follow that product feedback link that Kaisa posted right above your message and post sort of what you're seeing going on there, that'd be perfect. Or hit us in Discord in the support section and let us know. And we can work on that threads issue in chat. Yeah, GSW Ball Report saying the same thing. So yeah, if you guys can go ahead and hit us up either in Discord or in that canny and hit the upvotes on sort of threading in chat, we can absolutely go ahead and take a look at that. Appreciate you all. Any other questions? Again, hit me with a stage request or go ahead and ask in chat. Rod, I missed your power chat, but thanks for the $1.99 power chat. Said we need a universal VIP that can be a subscription. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try and see what we can do. I agree. I think that'd be dope. Not sure how feasible it is, but I agree with you. It's a great idea. Last question, then we'll go ahead and shut it down, get you all out of here. The VIPs for the big rooms. Are you guys working on that? From a VIP standpoint, nothing new to share, quite honestly. Continue to use them as you all have been. It's been great seeing you all use those VIPs, to give access to your users. We've loved seeing that, so continue to do that. And yeah, we'll continue to just try to make broadcasts as accessible as possible moving forward. Hey, as always, really appreciate you all rolling through this week on Playback with me. Again, next week we'll go back to our regularly scheduled time, Thursday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. My name's BTow from Playback. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll catch you next week. Later.